Identity 5 gamers, today is the final day of 2023, that's right. Well, I guess for you, it could be 2024 already, depending on where you are watching this, but it is not quite 2024 just yet. But for the last day, I figured let's take it easy, let's just reflect, and do a quick little Q&A. I asked you some questions on the community tab and in my Discord server, so today we're gonna take a look at those questions and answer them. But before that, let's quickly do our sim and roll freaking Sanrio thing and see what kind of goodies we can get for today. Let's see. First up, we get, Spyglass moment. Let's go. That's so awesome, bro. I sure do love Spyglass. I actually need to save a lot because I'm trying to get more stuff with it. And mid. How many more days until we get the actual thing? It looks like, if math checks out, I think 2 more days. I'm pretty sure that's how math works. Yeah, 6, so 2 more days. 2 more days, and then we can get the good ol' Hello Kitty. Alrighty, now let's take a look at some of the questions. Fifi asks, why did you decide to make a YouTube channel for Identity 5? Well, that's a good question because I actually have like 9 YouTube channels, but I really fell in love with the game after I joined because of the Danganronpa V3 crossover. I actually streamed my first ever time playing the game and me kind of like learning the basics and whatnot of the game on my gaming channel during season 27. And then, you know, as I just kept playing it more and more and more, I just fell in love with it more and more and more, and I just kept having fun with it, so I just decided, you know, let's just make a YouTube channel, because where else am I going to put this passion? If I uploaded it only on my gaming channel, it would get super bad views because of, like, algorithm purposes, but if I just dedicate a channel to it, then everybody knows it's just for Identity 5, so that's kind of how it is. And that's also why I have so many channels, just because of algorithm purposes. Next, we have 2 questions here. I think they're both kind of related, since they're both about Melly. Shubingus asks, how did my love for Melly start? And Matthias asks, what is my favorite thing about Melly, from her story to her kit to her playstyle, etc. So the love for Melly started a little after I was like, you know, playing the game, because my first main was like Doc, you know, because like that was everybody's first main basically. I was like the first character they make you play like in the tutorials and whatever. So I was playing Doc a lot. Then after Doc, I swapped to Prisoner, and then after Prisoner, it was like Coordinator. And then I picked up Composer, and I was like, yo, this is my soul character. And I started getting interested in like the tournaments. I saw a lot of different characters being played. And whenever I saw Entomologist, I kept seeing her fly with the bees, and I was like, huh, that looks fun. So I started playing Entomologist, and I was like, yo, this is actually super, super fun. And I just love like the little bee aesthetic. And then after I started looking into her lore and whatnot, I was like, oh my gosh, this character is so cool. I found her to be extremely relatable, but also just really, really interesting. And yeah, I guess picking a favorite thing about Melly is really difficult because her lore and story is very, very interesting, compelling. The fact that you can read so deep in between the lines for like Melly's lore. I've seen so many different analyses on Melly, and I absolutely love them all, dude. I wish I could, I wish I saved some of the analyses that I saw that people wrote online that were about Melly. I don't know if I could find them, but man, there are some really good ones out there. But yeah, her character design is absolutely phenomenal. Story and lore is amazing, and her playstyle is just super, super fun. And what I really like about Melly, her playstyle as well, is that it's pretty simple to understand, but it also, there's like really, really interesting techniques. Like the bees, dude, the bees have some deep techniques that can go really, really far. Like Melly's mechanics can like be pushed to the limits, dude. Like her support is like absolutely crazy. Like imagine forward stun or coordinator gun into Entomologist bees pushing the hunter away. Or, you know, after you get hit by an attack and you're near a pallet, what you could do is, if you have enough time, pull out the bees, shove the hunter into a pallet, get a free pallet stun. Like, there's some crazy stuff you can do with Melly, dude. It's absolutely insane, dude. Fifi asks, how did you feel about Frederick's gun scene? I can only imagine they're talking about the Ashes memory scene when Frederick Kreberg is holding Orpheus and Alice at gunpoint. I love that scene. I thought it was really funny. It literally was just like the I'm a decoder butt. Oh, it's so funny, dude. But yeah, I really like Frederick Kreberg's character. It was cool to see him pop off, and I really hope he doesn't just die off screen. Kat asks, who is your favorite hunter to play as? That's kind of tough, because I don't really have like a set-in-stone hunter main. Like, I do play Nightwatch a lot, but I've been playing a lot of Nightmare, a lot of Violinist, a lot of Fool's Gold, and I don't really know which one of them is my favorite, honestly. I think Nightwatch is probably the one that I play as the most, but that's also probably because I win with him the most, because he's pretty easy. I'm not sure. I think I need some more time. Zurino asks, how did Melly become your favorite, and what's something you really admire Melly for? Well, I already answered how she became my favorite, but as for, what do I admire about Melly? Well, there's a lot of things. I guess I could say I really admire her work ethic. The fact that like she worked so hard to learn about entomology to kind of stand on equal footing with Joshua. That was really cool of her. I really admire how like mysterious that she is. I really admire the fact, because I actually relate to it a lot. I admire the fact that she hides her face actually, because she wants people to recognize her for her deeds and for her efforts as opposed to just her face, which is, you know, kind of the reason why I don't really do like face reveals and whatnot, because I kind of want people to recognize me for the same way, right? Or, you know, some people watch YouTubers because it's like, oh, they're conventionally attractive. I'm going to watch this person because they're like eye candy, the conventionally attractive person, whatever. I don't really like being that kind of person, you know? I like just making the content and having it be like focused on the content, not just somebody's face. I don't know. I could talk for hours about things I admire Melly for, so I think I'll leave it there. Baby girl Luchino asks, I'm gonna be that guy and ask for all your thoughts on Luchino. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I don't really have too many thoughts because I actually don't know too much about his lore. But I do think he's kind of cool. The player base for him, I swear, is like absolutely cracked. Like, I swear I never really run into like a bad Luchino. And when it comes to Evil Reptilian specifically, his new buff is looking really, really scary. And I already think that character is like secretly pretty good, especially when he gets a full presence. At low presence, he's trash. When he gets to full presence, he's like dummy scary, bro. And now he's going to be even scarier. Noelle asks, where did the username ZeezVovG come from? It actually comes from a Xenoblade Chronicles YouTube poop that is actually no longer on YouTube. I've answered this question many times before. I think I'm just going to play a clip from one of my other Q&As and just shove it right here. This is a question I get asked a lot, and it's really funny because every time I say it, nobody cares anymore. So people are like, oh, where's the name ZeezVovG come from? That's such a funny name. And then I tell them, and they're like, okay. So I'm going to tell you, ready? It's based off the character Zeek von Genbu from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, from a YouTube poop. So in a YouTube poop, people like to mess around with the audio. So for example, if somebody were to say, so cool, you could play the audio, then immediately reverse it to make them go, sauce! And it's really funny. That's what happens in YouTube poops all the time. So I watched a YouTube poop in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 with a character named Zeek von Genbu. So I think you can see where we're going with this. It goes,
behold the mighty Zeek von Genbu, bringer of chaos! Behold the mighty Zeez von Genbu, bringer of chaos!
And I thought that was the funniest thing. So later that night with my friends, we started playing Jackbox, and I tried to enter ZeezVovG into my username, but it wouldn't fit, so instead it just became ZeezVovG. And even though theoretically it should be G, I don't like the sound of it. I just prefer G, so ZeezVovG. There we go. That's what it is. That's the story. And guess what? Nobody cares because nobody here plays Xenoblade. Wow. Email asks, what is one hunter you rarely go against in rank, but always stresses you out when you have to? That's a really good question because I already know the answer right away, and that is Wax Artist. I rarely ever run into Wax Artist because I don't think he's played too much in the mid tiers, right? Like I'm a Griffin, right? I usually like float around Mammoth Griffin. Hopefully I'll try and get a little bit higher in the future seasons, but that's kind of where I am right now. And the most hunters I run into is like, whenever Opera Singer is a band, obviously Opera Singer, but like Geisha, Mary, Naiad, a good amount of Fool's Golds recently, lots of Rippers, stuff like that. I don't really see Wax Artists too often, but if I see Wax Artists, bro, we're probably losing. We are probably losing because that character is literally a point-and-click adventure character. Like, you literally see a survivor, you point wax at them, and then they just lose. Like, if you're not in a good kiting area, you're probably just going to lose against Wax Artists. And another thing is if you don't have teammates supporting you against Wax Artists, like, if you're a solo ranker, it just sucks because you can get, like, some good support against Wax Artists, but if you have no support against Wax, it can be really tough, dude. Also, Hot Wax is absolutely stupid. I could rant about Hot Wax for, like, 10 minutes straight, dude. I think that ability is stupid, dude. Cherry asks, what was one of the best moments while playing / discovering IDV? For example, meeting a new friend. I mean, I've met a few people. You know, I've met all of you, especially like in the streams. It's really fun to talk to you all live in the streams. Obviously, I've met Zeus. We've done a couple collabs. It'd be cool to meet some other people. Although I hear that like a lot of the English YouTube channels have like controversy that happens somewhat often. And part of the reason why I'm nervous to collab is because I know that I'm safe on my own. But if I, you know, make friends with somebody and they're in a controversial position, where does that put me? Because, like, I want to be friends with them, but also, like, if they're knee-deep into controversy, does that mean I just have to cut off a friendship? Is the friendship business only? Is that, like, even a genuine friendship? I don't know. I'm a little scared of collabs for that reason. But, you know, I still like meeting new people. But regardless, back to your question. I think what some of the best moments are in the game is when you have a really good team, a really friendly team, and you guys all play well together, but you have like a successful kite and they compliment you on your kite. That always feels great. Guys, I just have to say, if you ever have like the chance and you see somebody has a good kite and you don't mind talking in the post-match, just send them a good kite. Just say good kite. Like, that feels so good, dude. Fairy asks, what is your favorite Identity 5 essence? That's a great question. And I've actually looked at all the previous seasons. I think, obviously I have to go with like Kongho Melly. So that's season 28 essence 2. But I really love like all of season 11's essence. That of course being Inferno Sonata with Antonio, the part 1 of the Danganronpa crossover, and of course Sophia Melly. So yeah, I'd probably have to say season 11 essence 3 or season 28 essence 2. Helen asks, other than Melly, what other characters do you enjoy? It's actually pretty funny. I've really been having fun with like the Ashes of Memory cast, like the survivors like Alice, Melly, Orpheus, Norton, and Frederick. They're all so fun, dude. It's like a coincidence that they're all like the Ashes of Memory crew, but I actually have so much fun playing them. And Antiquarian. I think those are like the 6 survivors that I have a ton of fun playing. As for the hunters, though, it's Nightwatch, Nightmare, and Violinist, and Fool's Gold. They're all really fun. Marco is a total weeb. Interesting username. They ask, when do you think the OC review episode will happen? Yeah, so the OC showcase video, that got 221 responses, as you can see here. There are a lot of responses that I have to go through. So the thing is, it's gonna take some time, and I'm not sure if I'm going to split it up into like parts or if I'm gonna just do it all as one video. If I do it all as one video, it's gonna take a long time for it to come out, but if I split it up into parts, it'll be a little bit easier. So I'm still figuring out if I want to do parts or just have one video, so I don't have an answer for you just yet. Number 1, Victor Lover asks, what games do you like other than Identity 5? That's a great question. I grew up with a lot of Nintendo games, so I really love Nintendo games, like their main franchises, Mario, Zelda, Kirby, Pokemon, Fire Emblem, all that good stuff. My favorite game franchise is actually Fire Emblem. I'm super obsessed with Fire Emblem. Zelda's like a close second. I really like Kingdom Hearts. I love Persona. I love The World Ends With You, Ace Attorney, Danganronpa. I could go on forever, dude. I play so many games. Ada asks, can you play Weeping Clown eventually? Yes. So I'm saving up clues and whatnot. Obviously, I don't really want people to gift me too often anymore. I made like a little community post about that. If you want to take a look at that, why I said that. I'm cool with like gifts on very, very rare occasions, like subscriber specials. But I don't really want people to gift me a ton of stuff because it's just not really super fair. But yeah, for like character requests, all I can say is either on their character day or their free day, I'll have a chance to play them. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to wait until I can grind for them. I'm sorry. Chicken Tori asks, any plans for nerfing the priestess? Well, I can say that we're carefully evaluating the data, and we'll be keeping an eye on it. Cleo asks, any wishes or hopes for the future of this game? Honestly, the biggest thing is that the Melly content well doesn't run dry, and I want the player base to increase. I think the game is really, really fun. I think more people should play it and know about it. So I really think NetEase should focus more on their advertising. Like, obviously, I don't think the game is nearly as big in America as it is like in Japan or as in China or whatever. I think they could really do a lot more if they found like a better way to advertise the game. Abia asks, how do you manage to stay calm in even the most stressful matches? I always want to throw my phone against the wall. Well, to be honest with you, I don't. In fact, most of the time, I actually am panicking. I panic kite all the time. I actually just had a match where I was playing as Nightmare earlier, and I was going up against these really, really good survivors, and then I literally teleported to the gardener using my Nightmare teleport, and I teleported into her, and she dropped a pallet on me, and it was endgame, and I was so frustrated that I just gave up, because I just couldn't get a hit on anybody. They were constantly rotating me, and it was all because I missed the blink early in the match that I lost the game, so I just kind of gave up. Anyway, yeah, I guess my quickest answer is that I don't stay calm. I'm always panicking. I panic kite and I make mistakes all the time. But, as I play the game more, I'll hopefully get more experienced, and I'll be able to stay calm in more situations. Jewel asks, since you haven't been playing the game for too long, how has your experience been so far? And is there something you dislike about the community itself? That's a good question. And no, I don't really dislike the community at all. I think what a lot of people really like to do is they like to look at a very loud minority of a community, of like a fan base or something, and they'll be like, oh, that's what the entire fan base is like. But no, that's just, usually the loud minority. It's the case with every single fan base, right? Like every single fan base has, you know, a dark side because there are just, you know, people in the world that are like that. And they're usually a very vocal minority. And then people are just like, oh, I guess that's just how every single fan of the game acts, which is completely untrue. And for the most part, you know, 9 times out of 10, I've had really, really fun and nice interactions with people. Everybody is usually very sweet. I definitely recommend to stay as far away from English One Chat as possible. But yeah, otherwise, everybody's pretty nice. As long as you don't do a bad cypher pop. If you do a bad cypher pop, dude, don't look at post-match chat. Just don't. Well, the dirt between Ithaqua's toes asks, what do you think of Ithaqua in general? Do you like his lore? Do you like his design, gameplay, and aesthetic? Also, what do you think of the 2 people in his trailer? So I don't know all the lore. I have seen his trailer, and I think it's amazing, dude. I think the animation is really, really cool. Actually getting to see his face was pretty surprising. And yeah, he's got a pretty compelling story, actually. The fact that all he really wanted to do was just protect his mother, and how he was like abandoned in the woods. It was just really depressing, honestly. But I actually really enjoy Nightwatch. He's fun to play. I think he's fun to watch. I like his lore. I really like the wintry, like windy sort of aesthetic that he has going on. His little footsteps are so goofy and funny. I really like him. And I never really feel too stressed out when I'm cutting him either, because I play him so often that I know his cooldowns by like heart and know how to counter him. So yeah, for me, he's fun to fight, fun to play as, and fun to watch. So there's not really too much dislike about him. Nico asks, is there anything you like about Naiad? Akira asks, common question for YouTubers, will you do a face reveal? I have no plans at the current time to do a face reveal. I've thought about it, but I just don't really feel like I need to. My mind might change in the future, but for now, no. MH asks, which Koa 7 costume do you want the most? The Melly B tier does not count. And will you try to get any of the previous Koa's costumes? Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, obviously the Melly B tier I'm pretty sure is like free from doing like rewards or whatever. I really love that Melly B tier skin as well. I think it's really cool. But as for the Koa 7 costumes that I want the most, it's got to be Composer and Antiquarian. I'd probably lean more toward Composer because Antiquarian is getting the Chinese New Year skin, which I'll probably get. So I really want to try and at least get Frederick. But we'll have to see. And as for any of the previous Koa costumes, I'm obviously going to go for Ecosphere, without a doubt. Star, I guess, asks, hey Zeez, do you plan to keep on pursuing this IDV channel? I always love and enjoy making your content. It always makes me smile whenever I watch you. That's very kind. I don't mean to be rude, but you are not the one making the content. I assume you mean watching. But to answer your question, yeah, I do plan to keep on pursuing this Identity 5 channel because I'm just passionate about the game. You know, if I'm passionate about the game, I have fun with it, I'm going to keep on making content about it. If I ever, like, one day lose interest, maybe I'll stop, but I don't see that happening anytime soon because I'm still having a really good time with the game. Maybe I'll take, like, breaks in the future, I don't really know, but for now, we'll just keep on going steady. Cousin Chisa asks, which character do you think needs a buff and debuff and why? As for characters that need a buff, I obviously would say Melly, but I think she's fine. I think characters like Thief and Magician need buffs. I think Coordinator definitely needs a buff. I think Perfumer needs a buff. And I think Weeping Cloud needs a buff. Those are probably all the survivors that I would consider to be like somewhat niche or like sort of low tier. As for hunters that need buffs, obviously Hellumber, obviously Violinist, obviously Photographer, and then probably like Gamekeeper and maybe Mad Eyes. Mad Eyes is probably fine. He's just like kind of difficult to play. Yeah. I think I'd say that for buffs. As for nerfs, obviously freaking nerf Opera Singer into the ground. That character is so freaking cracked and annoying. Priestess needs a nerf. I think Forward needs a nerf. I have a very high opinion of Forward. I think Forward needs to be nerfed. I think he's the best rescuer in the game. I think he's actually better than Mercenary. And I also think Little Girl needs a nerf. I think she needs like a decoding debuff or something because her support is very annoying. Ari asks, what are your thoughts on the community you've built? How they are, how proud you are of them, etc. That's a good question, and I guess I haven't really thought about it too much. But yeah, I'd say I'm pretty happy with it. I haven't really had any like bad experiences with anybody. For the most part, everything has just been really nice. Everybody's been very, very kind and sweet. I've only really gotten like 2 or 3 hate comments, and they were all just like pretty stupid stuff, like you're not funny or you're dumb. It's just like, oh wow, you got me, bro. But I also appreciate like the people who've also like left constructive criticism as well, like to improve my gameplay or my videos and whatnot. That's always been really nice as well. It's never just been people that are flat out saying like the videos are bad, or like you should be doing this, not this, whatever. People are like really kind when they want like to see adjustments and whatnot. So yeah, I'd say I enjoy the community I've built. You all have been really awesome so far, and I appreciate that. Mars asks, which characters do you think have the best designs? Melly doesn't count. Yeah, I'm so glad that people are just like kind of omitting Melly from this, because, you know, 50% of the time if you ask like what my favorite blank is, it's just going to be Melly, because I think obviously her design is absolutely fire. But as for other characters with really fire designs, I really like Coordinators. I think Coordinator's design is awesome. I love Novelist design. It's very iconic. Priestess and Enchantress are really good as well. I really like Painters. I like Batter's design. Toy Merchant has a really good design. Aeroplanist has a really great design as well, although some of his portraits look really goofy. But overall, I think he has a really cool design. And I used to think Cheerleader kind of had a goofy design, but her design's been growing on me as well. I don't know, I think a lot of the characters have good designs. As for the Hunters, dude, like, oh my gosh, so many of them have like awesome designs. Like Nightmare is probably like one of my favorite Hunter designs. Violence is awesome. Nightwatch is really cool. I really like Axe Boy. I love Soul Weaver too. Soul Weaver is so awesome, dude. Literally just a freaking spider. Obviously, of course, the Will Brothers. Like, that's a crazy freaking hunter, dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a lot of good freaking designs in this game, dude. Those are probably some of my favorites. Moving on to questions from YouTube, we have Antique Fighter here asks, got a Pog question in mind. If Melly were to get a crossover skin, what character from what franchise would you like to see as a Melly skin? I was actually thinking about this earlier today, and a really cool crossover skin that I would love is Fire Emblem X Identity 5, because I love Fire Emblem, it's my favorite game franchise, and I would love to see Melly as Lucina. Specifically with the mask on, because Lucina from Fire Emblem, she is associated with butterflies. She has a little butterfly mask. I think it would be absolutely perfect if Melly was able to have like a Lucina outfit, and for the net she could just have like a straight up sword. It could literally be Lucina's parallel falchion. I think that'd be super cool, dude. I would absolutely love a Fire Emblem crossover with Melly as Lucina. My buddy Zeus asks, do you have any specific kinds of traits you would want to see a hunter/survivor have, like abilities or concepts? Yeah, for Survivor, I actually did create a Survivor OC, so whenever that OC video comes out, I'll discuss that. As for a Hunter, a trait that I would like to see is one that is more aggressive, or one that stops Cypher Rush. Like, I personally think that whenever you use Listen, I think, like, whoever's on, like, a Cypher, the second Listen is used, it should, like, decrease that Cypher's progress by, like, 5%. So the second you use Listen, it's like, boom, 5% progress gone. I think it'd be, like, a kind of cool, like, stopping Cypher Rush thing. I don't know. I want to see them, like, buff Listen, because Listen is trash. Otherwise, I want, like, a game to be more aggressive. I want to see less camping and more aggression, because aggressive is a lot more fun to play. It's a lot more fun to watch. Like, nobody wants to see a Bonbon sit at a chair for a whole minute, right? Nobody wants to watch that. That's just boring as heck, bro. It's not even really fun to play, because you just have to sit there and just wait. I don't even know. What Bonbon players, why do you play that character? I don't understand. Literally, why do you play that character? He's so boring. Sorry. I'm such a Bonbon hater. But yeah, I could go on for hours. That's a great question, Zeus. Thank you. Leon says, hi, Zeez. I actually discovered the game thanks to you, and I'm now an avid player. Are you planning on doing guides for Identity 5 in the future? Like more informative videos, such as tips for new players, etc.? Yeah, I've been thinking about that, but I think I need more experience, right? Because I've only been playing the game for 5 months myself. And while I do know a good amount about the game, I still haven't perfected my kiting routes. I still feel like I could use a lot more experience. So before I make any tutorials, I feel like I'd want to just wait a little longer before I make something like that. But I think I could definitely do something like that in the future, because that type of content would be good for longevity as well. For example, like you probably like have watched some of my videos, but you're not going to watch a video that's like a month old, right? That's just like, oh, look, it's me playing Toy Merchant or something. You're not going to go watch that video. But if I want to release like a Toy Merchant guide, that video will always be relevant, right? For people who want to pick up Toy Merchant. So yeah, I want to do that for like longevity based videos. So yeah, I would like to do something like that in the future, but I need more time to learn myself. Someone here asks, how do you manage to keep a daily upload schedule? Generally surprised. Well, there are 2 reasons for that. I've been doing YouTube for about 5 years, and I've only been full-time YouTube for about a year now. So that's one of the reasons. I have a lot of experience, and now that I'm full-time, I can put more effort towards it. But it's also because I work long hours. I pretty much spend 90% of my life working on content. I'm a no-lifer, bro. I wake up and I start making content, and then that's all I do for most of the day. and then I go to sleep, and then I get up and do the next thing. I work like 14 hours every single day. But you know, I enjoy what I do, so it's not really work to me too much, except editing. Editing's a slog. Such a lovely fleeting ass. Any crossovers who you would want to see in the game? Well, obviously I already talked about the Fire Emblem crossover that I think would be very awesome, but I don't think Fire Emblem crossover is very likely. I would love to see them bring back the Persona collab. That was really cool because they could put in new characters like Sumi from Royal. They could put in Sophia and Zenkichi from Strikers. They could put in those new characters from Persona 5 Tactica. They could definitely just do like spin-off Persona characters Essence or whatever. I think it'd be kind of cool to bring it back, especially since it was so long ago. But a crossover that I think would be really good that actually has a chance of happening, because I'm pretty sure it was on a list before of like what people would be interested in, and that is Ace Attorney. I think Ace Attorney would be freaking awesome, dude. Imagine running around as Phoenix Wright, bro. He would literally be like Freddie Riley, because he's the lawyer, you know? He'd literally be Freddie Riley. Oh my gosh, it'd be so goofy, dude. I'd love to play as Phoenix. Edgeworth too, like Maya. Oh my gosh, all the characters from Ace Attorney would be so freaking fun. Animatics asks, who do you think will be the character who receives a major buff in Identity 5? That's obviously, you know, just completely off of like a gut feeling, but I swear to you guys, I just have a random feeling that one day Photographer is going to be meta. They're going to buff him, they're going to rework him. I don't know what they're going to do, but he is, mark my words, he's going to be meta one day. I don't know why I have a feeling of that. I just think he's going to be meta one day. I don't know. Fukul asks, how do you have the motivation to post so much videos without burnout? Yeah, so burnout is a thing that affects a lot of creators, but the thing is, like, as long as you just keep your passion going, you're not really gonna burn out, right? People are always so worried about burnout nowadays, and it does affect a lot of creators. And, you know, to an extent myself, because I edit all my videos, and I upload a lot of videos, and I work a lot of hours. So yeah, I do get kind of burnt out. But for me, at least, whenever I'm burnt out, all I need is like a really, really short break, and just kind of think about my passion for the thing that I'm working on again, and then I'm just kind of back on into it. Plus, the fact that this game is always getting like new content every week, pretty much, definitely helps out. Lord Gendix asks, which survivor from Identity 5 do you find the most challenging gameplay-wise? Yeah, good question. Well, for me specifically, I'm really bad as Cowboy. When I played him on its character day, dude, I could barely do anything. I could barely do anything, dude. I just can't aim. I literally just can't aim. I don't know what it is, man. Whenever I go up against Cowboys, I have the best aim. They're always like on top of their freaking lassos. As for me, dude, I can't freaking land a lasso for the life of me. Lunamoon says, hello, Zeez. One question. If you could add your own character, like yourself, then what would the name be? Well, I'm a content creator, so I think I'd probably just be content creator. If I were to be added to the game. And I guess for like an ability, what I would be is I'd definitely be a decoder, obviously, because I'm set up my computer all day. And I'd probably just have like recordings, and how the character would work is I could record myself decoding, and then that would give other characters a decoding buff, but I would have to like deliver it to them because like the old days. So it'd be like record a tape, and then I have to walk to somebody else, give them the tape, and then whenever they have the tape, they get like a decoding buff. The character would also be the worst character in the game because YouTubers don't benefit anything to society. I'm joking. Well, sort of. Veronica Gomez asks, hey Zeez, this is my question. Will you try to get an S badge for Melly in the future? That is a big maybe. I would love to get an S badge for Melly, but there are a few things holding me back. One, my skill level. I'm trash at the game. I'm very inconsistent. I pull off some good kites sometimes, and then other times I get Terror Shock 10 seconds into the match. It just happens. Another thing is the fact that I am a solo ranker. I would love to find a team to play with, but the thing is my schedule is extremely inconsistent, and I don't think I could ever commit to like a specific rank time, especially when I have to like constantly edit videos and whatnot. It would be really hard for me to find a team to consistently rank with because I would be the inconsistent one. That's why it's easier for me to solo rank because I don't have to meet up with a team at a specific time or whatever. But yeah, I would absolutely love to try and get an S badge for Melly. It just would take a lot of time, effort, and scheduling, which I don't know if I have. Resalva asks, I'm curious, how do you know Zeus and when did you two become friends? I mean, you just played Identity 5 not too long ago, right? And Zeus has been playing for so long now. Yeah, I think Zeus has been playing, I think he said he wasn't playing at launch, but I think he's playing like in season 2 or something. I'm not really sure. But he actually reached out to me asking for a collab. And after like a bit of scheduling, we got together and filmed our first collab. And then I swear, dude, after that, we literally talked for just hours, bro. We literally talked in a call for like 4 hours about not just Identity 5, but like the other games that we played. And, you know, after just like talking about all that stuff, we just kind of became friends through that. I don't know. It just kind of happens, right? It's like you don't really think about becoming friends with somebody. It just kind of happens, right? I don't know. I don't really think about it too hard, but you know, I guess just talking with somebody and just sharing your interests, having fun conversations, that's all it really takes, I guess. Mochila asks, do you think Naiad needs a nerf? If yes, what would it be? My answer is yes, in fact. She does need a nerf, and you already know what it is. If you've seen my streams, if you've seen any of my content that features Naiad, you already know what it is. It's the attack speed. The attack speed is just too fast. Thing is, Naiad is fine, right? At top level, she's fine. And I know that. I get comments on it all the time. People don't let me complain about Naiad. Every time I complain about Naiad, all the comments say, she's not that bad. You're just bad. I know I'm bad. I'm a mid-level player. But do you know what Naiad dominates? She dominates mid-level players. So can my complaints please be justified? I know you're just trying to say skill issue, but listen. Mid-level players exist. Low-level players exist. I'm standing up for us, okay? I know objectively at top level she's fine, but like the attack speed on top of her already pretty solid kit, I think her attack speed just needs to be like nerfed by like 0.1 second. It's just way too fast for no reason. One step closer to world domination asks, how do you maintain your sanity while playing Identity 5? Well, similar to the question earlier, I guess I really don't. Well, whenever I play Survivor, I think it's fine, unless I'm ranking, and then I have like a massive losing streak. That never feels good. Playing Blackjack actually like makes me want to suffer. I freaking hate that mode so much. I literally played Blackjack each day, and 2 rounds in a row, I got 10 cards in 2 separate games. How am I supposed to come back from that, huh? And why is it whenever it's just me and one other person, why am I always a survivor and why is the other person always playing Anne? Okay, cool, you threw out your cats. Guess what? That's the freest hit of all time. How am I supposed to avoid cats? Anne is broken in Blackjack, bro. Stop playing Anne in Blackjack. She should be banned in Blackjack. That character's so free in Blackjack. Oh my gosh, bro. Why does it always happen to me? I hate freaking Blackjack. Sorry. Anyway, as you can tell, the answer is no, I don't maintain my sanity. Don't play Blackjack. It's the worst mode in the game. Oh my gosh, bro. You can be kiting like a god, and then you just get unlucky. You just get unlucky because, uh-oh, you picked the wrong card, or uh-oh, you use a discard card and it discards your 1 instead of your 10. Oh, and guess what? Did you get teleported your Cypher on from the start of the round, and you kited for 90 seconds, but you made one little mistake 92 seconds into your kite, and then you lose? Wow, man, that feels good. Haha, Blackjack's a good game mode. Fair and balanced game. Okay, I'm done talking about Blackjack. Little Red Fox asks, this is random, but I know you like Danganronpa, so what are your thoughts on God? Oh, I mean Celestia Ludenburg. Sorry, got them mixed up. No, I'm pretty sure you mean Teiko Yasuhiro. Yeah, I think her freaking design is fire, but her character is she's okay. I guess I'm not really a big fan of her, but I will say her English voice actress is phenomenal, dude. Like, absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love listening to Celestia's voice lines. So that's probably my favorite part about Celestia is just the voice actress. Yellow XX asks, are we going to see a video where you play every hunter and every survivor one day? The answer to that is probably someday, but I still have to grind for all the characters, and that's going to take a long time, like a year. So maybe 2025. Well, everybody, that is unfortunately all the time I have for today. I still have a lot more stuff to do before the year ends in just a few hours. So I want to thank you all so very much for the support the last few months ever since I started the channel. And also thank you for all your questions. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of them. I just unfortunately do not have enough time. But maybe we'll get to answer some of the questions in the future. Either way, thank you so very much for watching. Hello, Second Kong Ho Melly. I hope you have a great rest of your day, everybody, and Happy New Year to you all. Yo. Oh, the double Melly spin, dude. Yeah, we're thinking up a storm.